Hello there everyone, hopefully you can hear me okay. It's it's 4 p.m. Saturday, I don't know what the date is, the 6th, there we go, the 6th. It's a second mystery review, about the 13th, 14th, 15th, maybe 16th, I'm not sure, live review, so welcome back if you've been here before and welcome if you haven't, hope you enjoy it. Hope you're still there, Rick. Sorry if you disappeared. Yeah, I think I was testing things earlier on. I don't know if you could see me or not. Hi, Alan, and hi Shady. How you doing? Not seen you in the live chat before. Oh, good to see you. Good to see you. I hope you're both doing okay. And if you're there, Rick, hope you're all right as well. I basically, before I start the streams, I do a little test thing where you click like a go live button essentially to actually go live, but you're technically streaming in the meantime. But Rick appeared when I was sort of doing my test, so I don't know whether he could see me or not. I hadn't clicked the go live button, but so hopefully he couldn't. I didn't swear or anything like that, but you never know. You know who's worried about something like that. And hi Scotty, how are you doing? Hope you're doing okay. Hope you're all right. Yeah, hope everyone's okay today. It's lovely day out again. Lovely day, lovely spring day. There's some kids playing around outside in the street or in the gardens or something, so it might sound like a bit like a war zone out there, but hopefully you can't hear that, but we'll see. So I hope you're doing all right today. Yeah, so it's another mystery review time. So it seems to be a very popular decision, so I think I'll keep going forward with it. It's great for my backlog as well, actually, because as everyone probably knows, I get I buy basically I can only review so many every week. So probably about 5. Well, I can only publish about 5-6 reviews a week, but I end up probably buying 10 chocolate bars a week. So over about a period of 2 months, I get like a massive stash of chocolate, and I just can't review it fast enough, So there we go. So this actually helps with it, and a bit different as well. Yeah, a good way to sort of mix and match things. I might still do chocolate selections and things like this every now and again. So it might still be a mix and match, but so we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yes. Is it cloudy? Is it? Ah, I see. Okay, yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. Well, here it's really nice, actually. Yeah, it's a shame. Shame it's well, when it's sunny where you are, it'll probably be cloudy here. So I think it's just the way of it, isn't it? But yeah, hope you're doing okay. Hope it was all right. As I say, good to see you, Shady. By the way, I don't think I've seen you in the live reviews before, but good to see you. Good to see you at last. I've seen you in the comments before now. So yes, and I tried the squashes. Did you? What did you think? What did you think, Alan? Did you like them? Which one did you have? Did you have the actual rhubarb custard one, or did you have the regular ones? I hope you enjoy them either way. I've got some others to do as well, but yeah, anything whether I've reviewed it. Well, basically, not well. To be honest with you, it's a difficult one really, because most of the time chocolate is nice, isn't it? So most of the time I like everything I taste, and sometimes things would be low average, so I'll give them a low rating. But I think I did try a dairy milk Vegemite from Australia, and that just wasn't pleasant. That wasn't pleasant at all. I'm not a fan of Marmite anyway. Don't really have it very often, but that was not a very pleasant one. It was I reviewed one of my first reviews, that, so the quality is probably not great, but that was one I did do, yeah, and it wasn't that nice. I did have some Carl Fazer salted pepper or something. What was it called? Can't think what it's called now. What was it? Swedish pepper, I think it was called. And that was a difficult one, really. It was like a spicy licorice or something. It was very that was a bit of a weird one, but but there we go. The regular ones are. Yeah, I think the regular ones are probably the best ones. Yeah, definitely. I think I've still got them to review, actually, so they might crop up on one of the mystery reviews. You never know. Yeah, so basically, I think they're probably the best one. You can't go wrong with the regular drumstick flavours, I don't think. Yeah. Well, as I say, Scotty, the well, you might have already had it, really, but rhubarb and custard was new, and I think there's a bubblegum one as well. Yeah, I think you're right there, Shady. I think you're right. Well, some people love it, though, don't they? That's the thing, so there's obviously some crazy people out there. Scotty posted a picture of a Marmite Cornetto in a Discord chat, and I think it was turned out to be false in the end. It wasn't a real thing, but I could believe that it could be true. So there you go. Yeah, but there we go. Yeah, so we've got a few reviews today. So generally probably do 3 or 4 reviews in the live review, but the mystery review, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So what's the first one we got along? Yeah, try it. Yeah, there's a couple of new ones there for you, Scotty. So see if you can find those. Don't know. I think Asda probably have them. I'm not sure. Maybe Tesco. But yeah, so there you go. Yeah, worth trying for sure. I reckon that the originals are probably going to be the best ones. But I remember you saying last week that you could take or leave the originals drumstick lolly. So I don't know if you'd find that the case with these ones, but worth trying, that's for sure. So what have we got today for the first one? Well, got a few things sort of stashed away this time, but the first one, that's the Milka Choco Biscuits. Yeah, there we go. So there we are. So we're quite excited about these ones. Again, don't think don't think they've been in my backlog for too long, but they have been in my backlog. So ones I've been really wanting to try. Now the thing with biscuits is almost always biscuits are going to be nicer when dunked in a hot drink. So the problem is you can't always replicate this. I've got a hot drink on standby. But of course, it's one of those, isn't it, where it might sort of get a bit slightly cooler within time. So I remember that last week I reviewed those festival biscuits, and later on I actually dunked them in a hot drink, and they were gorgeous when dunked in a hot drink. Actually, absolutely amazing. So, you know, it's a difficult one with biscuits, but generally you can always add at least 1 star, I think, for when they're dunked in a hot drink. So just bear that in mind. So there we go. Oh, see. Salty licorice on Gogglebox. I say, I say I missed that. I mean, it's a funny one, but it's quite a common flavour, I think, in I don't know if Northern Europe is the right term to use, but I know in Holland they have it, and in the Netherlands, and obviously, presumably in Finland as well. Yes, it seems to be a common, the Nordic countries, like you say, Scotty, yeah. Netherlands, I remember having it in. Quite common there as well. So yes, here we go, Choco Biscuits. So what have we got? What's it actually explain on it? Well, I can't, see if you can read it there. I had a bit of internet problems before I started. I was a bit panicking actually for a bit, but there we go. Oh, it's got the French version in first of all. So see, we've got there you are. The English is down here. Unless you can read French, of course. There it is. So biscuits with Alpine milk chocolate, 48%. There we go. That's pretty much the gist of it. I don't think it's got any palm oil in by the looks of it. I can't. Oh no, it does have palm oil. I didn't think milk had palm oil generally, but this one does. So. Yeah, I'm looking off to slightly to the right because I can't see it otherwise because my camera's in the way. So apologies for that. Okay, there we go. Nutritional information there. And again, I have to put it slightly to the one side to see it. So per 100 grams, 490 calories. That's not too bad. It's less than the 500 threshold I usually say for treaty treats. Yeah, not too bad. 21 grams of fat, 12 of which are saturates. And per biscuit, presumably, 12.5 grams, 61 calories, 2.7 grams of fat, 1.5 of which are saturates. Got a few symbols there at the bottom. About recycling, presumably. Mondelez, 150 gram box. There we go. So it's got 2 times 6 biscuits in a pack or something, I guess. It's 6 or 5, yeah, maybe 5. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, the salted licorice. Yeah, well, those Swedish pepper. Phaser sort of chocolate. I mean, it was different. Let's put it that way. I mean, it wasn't. I can see it's one of those where, you know, if you like it, you like it, basically. So it's a hard one to review, isn't it? You know what I mean, those ones. But yeah. Okay, is that it, Alan? You could be right there. I know in the US, it's usually chocolate flavoured stuff or something like that, chocolate flavour. So, you know, because I think they have I don't know if it's stricter rules or whether just the companies don't put as much cocoa in. But basically, like things like Reese's and stuff like that, they'll say chocolate flavour. Chocolate flavour covering or something like that. So there you go, you see, yeah, so there we are. Man, you've just retracted your statement there, Alan, so I'm not sure. Maybe you go back on what you just said, but I agree with you anyway, so there we go. Okay, so let's give this an open then. I think we should give it an open. So let's see. Because it looks quite nice. I quite like the look of this. I like the milk colouring. As I say, you've got the old Alps there in the background. You can see with the sun coming over the back. So let's see. Okay, so we get like 2, like one of those sort of like army sort of emergency ration packs, I guess. There you go. So it looks nice though, milk on it. So I guess there's 2. I think there's probably 2 columns of 8 maybe. No, 2 columns of 4 rather to make 8 biscuits. I think. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Obviously a bit of a strange one. I don't know why they don't just come in a regular biscuit pack or whatever. It seems a bit of an odd one. Yeah, but you know, not too bad. Obviously, if you want, the thing is as well with these, of course, if you want to put them in a kid's lunchbox or something, you'd really want them to be wrapped in like a pack of 2 or something like that. So once you've opened this, you know, you can't really go back, can you? But there we go. Okay, so what I might do, what I'll do is I'll skip down to perhaps the bottom camera while I open them, so you can see. Well, not the bottom camera. I think I'll just move this one down a bit. I think. Let's give it a go. See how we do. There we go. So you can see a few bits and pieces hanging around. Go down a bit further. I try to avoid showing the plug sockets in the background. So you see some wires hanging around. I do apologise for those. But it's just with the live view I can't really avoid them as much. Yes, there we go. Okay, I'll move some of that way. I've got the other camera there just in case we need it. Now, it's a bit saturated, this one. I've been getting around it by just altering the sort of brightness a bit. So I think I'll do that. I tried to see if I could do it automatically, but I couldn't quite do it automatically, so we'll just go down a bit. There we go. So I think that's probably okay. I'll have to go back up again in a minute. So there we are. Right, so there we go. You can see. Yeah, the Blackburn. Let's see. Yeah. Well, the biscuits I think are probably quite. Yeah, they're probably quite. Well, we'll find out. I guess let's give them an open. Oh, you mean that black plastic? Yeah, you could be right there, Shady. You could be right. I think I have noticed a lot of Easter eggs this year, not using like the clamshell plastic packaging that goes on. So yeah, which is a bit weird because still have the big box and just an egg on its own, you know. There you go. It's 2. Okay, so there's 6 in each one, not 8. So you can see there. I think you can see them. Nice smell coming from them. Yeah, I can see it's quite a thick chocolate there, but you can see clearly it's just like almost like a morning coffee biscuit, perhaps. Maybe not quite a morning coffee biscuit, but something similar with just a slab of chocolate stuck on top. There's not even any recess kind of thing. So, yeah. Okay, so, you know, what can you say? Okay, but yeah, you're probably right. I've noticed a lot of companies trying to avoid, in some respects, plastic material and stuff like that, which is good, I guess, which is a good thing. But there we go, yeah. Okay, so let's give it a bit of the old measure. So, let's have a look. It's about... a bit too tight there. It's about 6.1 centimeters in height. We're also going between there's some like dimples on the sides. I'm kind of going between here, so give or take a millimeter on this one. 4.4 centimeters in width. Height wise, so we'll do it with the old difficult one again because the chocolate's recessed in the middle. It's about a centimeter in height. So you can see, but you see the chocolate's got a step on the side. So perhaps just try and work the chocolate off. So I'll use my knife to do it a bit, see if we can do that. Hopefully point it away from me so we don't get too... A bit difficult. Yeah, so it's quite well stuck on. I think I'm going to be able to get it off very easily. Yeah, it doesn't really come off. So, but we can sort of peel a bit off. So you can see there's no recess as such. Just kind of slabbed on. So that's kind of the thickness of the chocolate there. So I'll just give it a quick measure to see the thickness of it. Obviously it is thicker at the sides. It's about 3 millimeters thickness at the side, but in the middle, talking probably a millimeter really. Yeah. Okay, so a bit of a trick there to make you think it's bigger than it is, but there we go. That's what they always do, isn't it? Yeah. Balsam ones go really to the side. Did he go over like a lip on the side? I think the biscuit's the other way around, isn't it? With the balsam ones, the chocolate's like it's sort of wide, well, maybe not quite, but you know, you get the gist. It's like basically the size of the biscuit in relation to the size of the biscuit in relation to the chocolate. So the biscuit at the bottom on the balsam is about the size of the chocolate here, and I think the biscuit, the chocolate on top is sort of bigger, like the biscuit here. I think anyway. You know, do tell me if I'm wrong. So yeah, okay, they look quite nice. I quite like the logo on them. You know, but yeah, not full colour. I think you probably would say the balsam ones are a bit more exciting, wouldn't you? Yeah. Oh yeah, is that right? I can't quite. Yeah, maybe I'm trying to think now. I can't quite recall now. I need to have a look. Yeah. Yeah. Hi Rick. How are you doing? Yeah. Did you? Yeah. Sorry about you sort of like when I was testing before. Good to see you, by the way, Rick. Yeah. No Easter surprise yet, but there might well be one coming up. When is Easter, by the way? Isn't it the end of April? I might leave it till a bit later in April if I do one. Not that I'm going to do one necessarily, of course. But yes. There you go. I'll lift myself up so you can see me again, so we can actually. So you can see the dark. It's a bit dark at the moment, so we'll sort that out. Just because I decrease the brightness for that bit a minute ago. There we go, a bit better. Okay, there we go. How about that? There we go, a bit better. Okay, you can see me now. Yeah, so 4th April, okay, so got a bit of time. Yeah, I never really know when Easter is. It's one of those, isn't it? But okay, so let's give this one a taste then. So, as I say, yeah, balsam ones. Yeah, I need to review a few. They're in they're in my backlog at least. Some of the balsam ones. I might need to repurchase them again because I think they'll have gone out of date now. So, yeah, they are nice biscuits, they're balsam. So let's see what this one's like. See if the milky chocolate. I don't know, it's very sort of milky, isn't it? You know, that's the gist of it. But that's how it's meant to be. So let's see how this goes. Let's see how it works. Oddly, 2 holes in the middle there. I think that might just be holes in the biscuit. You know what? It's not too bad. It's quite. I think they've got a good ratio here. I think they've got quite a good ratio. I think you've got like sort of quite a good level of chocolate to biscuit really, and I think it's even though you might not think that, I think it's actually not too bad. I actually quite like this. I mean the biscuit's not too bad here. I think it's sort of obviously on its own it probably wouldn't be that great, but that's not bad that, you know. Okay, I don't think it's going to sort of you know, blow your socks off or anything, but it's not too bad. Let's give it a dunk in a. Now of course, you know, I'm not really sure how to rate biscuits because obviously dunking in a hot drink is always going to be always going to improve the biscuit really. But let's see, do a bit of dunkage, dunkometer. Let's see. Well, I say it will always improve a biscuit. That went dangerously, dangerously soggy. That really was very. You know, normally when you sort of dunk a biscuit, it does make it obviously, you know, softer. But that was if I hadn't had the chocolate on top, then that would have. Hi, Joe. How are you doing? Hope you're doing okay. Good to see you again. Glad you could make it back. Good to see you again. Hope everything's okay where you are. I'm sure it is well. You know, obviously all the things that are going on the other side. I hope things are going okay. But yes, yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for the chocolate on top there, and I didn't dunk it for long there, it really would have just disintegrated that biscuit. It really would. It was so soft. I mean, it tasted okay when I ate it, but it was really, yeah, that was ridiculously so, ridiculously sort of soggy, really. So, so yeah, still tasted nice, but I don't think that's what you want from a biscuit when you dunk it like that. So I don't. Obviously, you could argue it's not made for dunking or whatever, but I think every biscuit really should be able to withstand a bit of dunkage, you know. So, a bit disappointing that. I mean, I say it didn't affect the taste as such, but you know, yeah, I don't know. I'd say it was dangerously soft, soggy. That was, yeah. So, well, not too bad though. I think they look quite nice. As I say, they do taste good. Let's just give it. But yeah, I think a mixed bag there. I think they taste okay though when they're not. So the chocolate's not too bad. The biscuit's quite plain. It has a bit of a sweet taste to it. Got a nice crunch to it, of course. And chocolate and the biscuit are quite well, you know, quite well proportioned. I'd say. I think they actually work well together. Even though it looked like the sort of the chocolate wouldn't be that prominent, I think it works quite well actually. So when they're not dunked, they're quite nice. But when they are dunked, I think it really, yeah, really detracted from it actually to an extent. Not from the taste, but just from the experience. It was just so sorry. I've never really had a biscuit like that. I mean, I know some, you know, maybe rich tea biscuits or maybe morning coffees or something go quite soggy quite quickly, but usually not. Well, it has been a while, but you know, I was going to say usually they don't do it to this extent, but of course, you know, I haven't had them for a long time, so I'm not sure. But I didn't dunk it for long. It really was, yeah, really was a bit disappointing that. But whether I can hold it against it, I don't know, because it's technically not meant to be dunked as such, but I think a biscuit should be dunked. So, yeah, difficult one. I think you get quite a lot in the pack though. I think it's quite nice. You know, you get these sort of bricks of biscuit. Well, package. I think they're okay. I think, you know, I think they taste quite nice on their own. I think they're not too bad. Yeah, some biscuits are not dunkable, you say. Yeah, Peter. Yeah. Yes, the hobnob, the king of biscuits generally, I think, Shady. King of biscuits generally, the hobnob. I mean, it's such a great biscuit. You know, yeah, it's a great biscuit. You know, it's the whole sort of scale should be raised to 6, I think, for hobnobs. I do like hobnobs a lot, actually, but you know, yeah. Okay, you don't do much of a dunkage, do you, in Canada, Rick? Well, yeah, it's a funny one, because all that Oreo sort of business where you take the top off, don't you, or something, and dunk it in milk and put it back on or something like that, yeah, it was sort of unheard of, I think, when I was younger. I never heard of anyone doing anything like that, especially dunking in milk as well. Usually, you know, dunking in tea or coffee, I think was the thing here. Sort of dunking in milk, I don't think I'd never heard of it or seen of anyone doing it. Excuse me. So very, yeah, it was unusual on that one. Obviously, I did try it and it was very nice. Actually, I did try it I don't know if I did it when I was doing a review or when it was just eating them generally. But I did try it and I actually quite enjoyed dunking in milk with the Oreos. It was better than I wasn't expecting much from it, but it was very nice. Yeah, because I just not really heard or, you know, yeah, not really ever sort of heard anything about it other than on the adverts and things. And it was an interesting one. But yeah, here, yeah, generally, I think you dunk. I don't know if there's biscuits made for it, but there are biscuits sort of known for it, and yeah, it's I think it's probably the tea and biscuits side of things. You know, in the UK at least, I think it's quite a sort of common thing. But yeah, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, well, yeah, the Oreos. I've seen that for a while, but I remember when he did them over here. You know, it did sort of come in a bit. You know, sort of dunk them in milk and things. But it was, I don't know. I thought it was just like a gimmick for Oreos, basically. And hi, AB, how are you doing? Glad you could make it. Good to see you again. Hope you're doing okay. We're just reviewing the Milka Choco biscuits. I was about to basically say Dunkin' are not too great. They're not a bad biscuit. They're well proportioned. I think the chocolate and the biscuit ratios are pretty good. I'm quite happy with that, actually. I think it just doesn't work for Dunkin'. I think, as you know, yeah, as Shady said in the comments, you know, some biscuits are just not made for Dunkin'. This pretty much is one of those, really. I think it's probably one of those where you have to do perhaps a quick dunk, and you might be all right. You might be able to get away with it, but yeah, but certainly not more than a second. I think it was. So what can we give them? Well, I'm quite happy with them, actually. I think they're just sort of well balanced. I don't think they're going to blow your socks off. But I'm quite happy with them, you know. So I think I'll probably say slightly above average. I think I'm probably going to say, yeah, 3.5 out of 5, I think, for those. Not too bad at all. And I think I was a bit harsh on the festival biscuits last week. I think they were probably would up them to 3.5 out of 5 again if I did them again. But when dunked, those were superb biscuit dunked, even better than the M&M's one, actually. But so I don't know how you could rate that, represent that, really, because obviously you just taste them on their own normally. But I'll tell you what, having them dunking them later on was a massively amazing experience. So those festival biscuits were a bit of a hidden gem, really, when it comes to dunking. So yeah, we're definitely still, yeah, I was impressed with those. But yeah, very impressed. Yeah, see, okay, yeah, well, I think I was saying last week for bourbon biscuits and things, what I used to do when I was younger, my mum used to have a biscuit tin. And it was accessible at this time. But at some points you learnt and moved it so I couldn't. You put it on top of the fridge or something so I couldn't reach it. But originally I could. I used to sort of, you know, we had this biscuit tin and the lid on it. And I used to take the bourbons out, which are basically like a chocolate biscuit. Not sort of chocolate, but like a bit like Oreos, a chocolate biscuit, you know, a bit lighter but more milk chocolatey. And in the middle had like a cream in it, a chocolate cream. And basically I used to take the top off and sort of eat the cream, put the top back on and put it back in the biscuit tin. So no one would know I'd done it until they came to eat them. And then they discovered there's no cream in it because I'd already been at them. Yeah, so then I think not long after that, my mum put them on top of the fridge. So, but eventually I was able to get them again. You know, I think I might have used a chair, I think, at some point as well. So, you know, I was a bit, you know, I wasn't going to let anything get in the way of me and biscuits, that's for sure. Okay, so, right, well, not too bad. So let's move on, I think. I'll just try and move these out of the way. I normally have a little chocolate left over there. I normally have a spare plate. Yeah, but I forgot it this time. So I'll just try and tidy up a bit. So, yes, it's obviously a bit crumbly, those biscuits, so let's give it a bit of a wipe. Yeah, so what have we got next? Well, we have a few different types this one. I know one for Scotty and Alan, this one, I think. It's pretty much as Scottish as you can get, I think. So we've got Patterson's Iron Brew Shortbread Thistle Round. So there we go. If it's not a Scottish company, then there's something not quite right here. But yes, there you go. Scottish bakers since 1895. Tradition with a twist. So there we go. So there we are. So I had to... I mean, you know, you can't really get much more Scottish than this, I don't know, other than having like the saltire on it or something. I'm not sure. But there we go. So they look a bit, well, basically, look like Jammy Dodgers, but with an Iron Brew flavoured centre, really, I think is the gist of it, what you could say here. Yeah, so I'm quite excited about these ones, I have to say. Yes, yeah, so I mean, they are pretty stereotypical. I mean, you know, you've got Iron Brew, Shortbread, Thistle. I mean, you know, what else? I quite like the way it's got Braille on it, though. I quite like that. That's quite nice. And there's some, not all chocolate sweets and things do, and obviously you need a certain background to do it cardboard. But yeah, I think those quite nice. These ones, pretty interesting. Yeah, obviously it's not Iron Brew in a traditional sense. I don't know if you know what Iron Brew is, Rick. By the way, you might not know. Perhaps Jow as well, being in you know, not in the UK. It's essentially a drink that's kind of. What would you? Does it even have? What flavour is it? Alan and Scotty. I'm not even sure what flavour you'd say Iron Brew was. It's an orange colour. I don't know if it's orange flavoured though. It's, yeah, I don't know how you'd actually describe it. yeah, I don't know. So maybe you can have a think about that in the comments, and while I'm just reading this bit out. So there we go. I've got a bit of description here. So you see, in 1895, John and Isabella Patterson founded their bakery in the Royal Borough of you see, Rutherglen, I guess that says, Scotland. Not quite focused in, so I do apologise for that. I can't quite read it either because it's on top side. Where they sold their shortbread from a horse-drawn van. Now we've coupled our nation's favourite shortbread with a delicious iron brew flavoured filling to create an indulgent Scottish treat. There we go. So might focus in now, maybe. Doesn't want to focus in for some reason. I have that problem sometimes with this. I don't know why. It can't be my face this time because. But there we go. Alcohol, is it? No, it's not. Yeah, it's not alcohol. It's bubblegum orange. Yeah, muttered her. Yeah. It's a weird soft drink. Yeah, it's not alcohol. Yeah, you can get alcoholic versions of it in the UK. You know, like these. Yeah, but it's not. It's a soft drink basically. But it's very sort of. Yeah, it's kind of. Yeah, it's an odd one. It's an odd flavour. It's an odd flavour. Yeah, there's a bit of an outcry, wasn't there, Scotty and Alan, where they tried to reduce the sugar in it, I think, recently. Yeah, there's the official spelling is slightly different without the vowels, basically, or without the E and the O anyway. Yeah. In fact, the advert used to say "Made in Scotland from girders," I seem to remember. So it's an interesting one. Yeah, interesting. If you ever come to the UK or ever get the chance, I'd definitely taste it. So there we go. 8 shortbread rounds with iron brew flavoured filling. There we are. Now, does it have any? I always sort of mention about the palm oil. I think it's something that's quite. It's got black carrots concentrate in here. Have you seen this? I can point it out to you. There you go, just in that corner there. Black carrots concentrate. Well, I don't know if that's what iron brew. The secret of iron brew is black carrot. I mean, I'm not sure. I've never even heard of black carrot before. So per 23.8 gram biscuit, 400. That can't be right. 472 calories per biscuit. Goodness me, that can't be right, surely. That's the huge. Well, that's 472 calories a biscuit. That can't be right. Oh no, that's kilojoules. Okay, phew. Yeah, 113 calories. 130 calories, 4.7 grams of fat, 0.6 of which are saturates. There we go. And per 100 grams, 473 calories, 90.9 grams of fat, 2.5 of which are saturates. So there we are. So it's only that 500 grams again. Biscuits obviously on a bit of a different level than ice creams, whatever. But there we go. Yeah, beer's. Yeah, I guess. Well, we have a bit of a reputation in the UK. Beer is quite popular. Yes, yeah, it is quite popular and things like that. Yeah, it's it doesn't make its way into sweets that much though. It has to be said. You'd think it probably would, but it does a bit. There are some Bailey's biscuits and Guinness biscuits now, but generally not too much really. Don't know why that is. Bit of an odd one, but yeah, I don't know. Does it like that in Canada, Rick? Yeah, it's not that much sugar. Let's have a see. I don't normally talk about the sugar actually. Maybe I should. Well, I don't know what's a lot, what constitutes a lot or not. It says 5.5 grams in each biscuit, so I don't know. Maybe that is not too much, but yeah. But this definitely looks an interesting product. Yeah, because follow us at Patterson's Bakery as well. So not too bad. I think they did like some Christmas biscuits as well. I think it was a similar thing. It wasn't iron brew, but I think they were like orange flavoured ones of these or something like that. And they were quite nice as well. I didn't review them at the time. I wanted to, but they're in my backlog. I couldn't get around to them, so I just enjoyed them. But there we go. Okay, let's give them an open. So I think I'll move the camera down when I open it so you can see what I'm doing. That's easier. There we go. All my equipment there. Still got some milker things hanging around. We'll get rid of those. That's the way. Okay, let's have a look. There we go. So I don't really tend to use this camera as much, but it's there just in case I do use it. So let's see. Okay, now I'll just adjust the brightness a bit. Let's have a look. Probably is. Let's see. Okay. I think it looks to be a bit dark sometimes, but I think it seems to represent the actual colour a bit better, really. I think so. Yeah. A&W root beer, you say? Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I don't even know if we really have root beers here. I can't open this thing. I think I've come on the wrong side. I think it says, open here. It's got a little thing saying open here. There we go. That's better. I think. Doesn't seem to open very well. Okay, there we go. Okay. Right, so what we got? So here we go. So I don't know why they're in this sort of box, I guess, but you could see here. Could argue that maybe they are a bit too big for the box. They're a bit too small for the box, rather. You can see quite a lot of space left over on the side here at the bottom. Imagine if the regular sort of jammy Dodgers did be like that, really. But obviously there still would be some flourishes and things, but you know, yeah. Oh well, yeah. Not too bad, I guess, but it's, the height-wise is not so bad. I'll show you. Maybe. A bit harder to do. Height-wise, not too bad as far as the box is concerned. But yeah, okay. Well, the box is alright, quite plain box, not too bad. Okay, let's give them an open. It's not quite big shortbread biscuits. These will be good for dunking, I think, at least as far as withstanding the the warmth, I guess you'd say. I don't know, is concerned. So, doesn't really smell very iron brewy as such. You just get a lot of shortbread smell, really. The problem with these, and perhaps Jammy Dodgers generally, is there's a bit too much shortbread, I think. But it is sort of a shortbread biscuit. Dandelion and burdock. Yeah, is that it, Scotty? Yeah, I was thinking, do we have root beer here? We don't really have that term, do we? But I guess, yeah, maybe it is sort of, yeah, dandelion and burdock, I guess. Let's take the top off, do a bit of a swivel here, a bit of a swivelage. Not really coming off, actually. Oh, there we go. Hang on. Just got to be careful not to break the... Oh, there we go, look at that. Wow, almost a perfect split there. Not too bad then, I think. You know, obviously, it could go a bit, you know, clearly it's got a sort of lip to stop it going over the edge there, so there's no real reason why it couldn't go edge to edge, but obviously maybe if you pressed hard, you can see it is a bit higher at one end than the other, so not too bad, but I quite like that design. I like, because I think sometimes with these biscuits as well, they use the same half, just have it together sometimes. I guess it'd be a bit difficult actually with these, what with one having a hole in, but sometimes they've done that. But this one clearly quite a well designed bottom, that. I'll say a nice pattern. Not too bad, not too bad. Let's give the bit of a measure then. Let's do this sort of diameter. I'll just reset it just to check it was reset. I think it was, yes, okay. Right. Okay. Yeah, about 5.9 centimetres there. Not bad. And the height's quite flat as well, which I quite like. There's no sneaky shenanigans going on. It's literally pretty flat on top. There's a bit of a pattern, but it's generally quite flat. Okay, about 1.3 centimetres. Yeah, not bad, not bad. As I say, you know, filling could be a bit better perhaps, but I don't know. It's hard to say. I think it is lipped up at one side, so obviously you have to be careful not for it to squidge out everywhere. That causes all sorts of problems. So I guess you could argue that that's the reason for it, but there we go. Let's have a see. So yes, lift myself back up and we'll give it a taste, I guess. Looks to be some... I thought there was something inside the biscuit there, but there isn't. It's just, I think the circles underneath, you know, certain patterns. So I'll just adjust the colour. Maybe I should do it before I go back up. It's a bit too dark now, as you can see. So let's have a look. Let's get me back up to how I should be, or roughly how hopefully I should be. There we go. There we are. It's better. Okay, right, yeah, okay, so I'll try one. Should try one as a whole. I think I'll try one as a whole first, just because that's how it should be eaten. So we'll do that. So lean over the plate a bit. Yep, let's give it a taste. Very I think mainly shortbread really is what I'm getting. There's too much shortbread, I think. It's always the case with this sort of thing though. I always find with shortbread biscuits, it's quite a thick biscuit generally, and it's rarely, you know, rarely thin, probably because it's quite short, as I say, and it's yeah. So I can't really taste the iron brew. It doesn't really. I can get a bit of a tang, but it doesn't really taste of iron brew. I wouldn't have said. Another bite. I'm not really getting much of an iron brew taste from it. I mean, it is there and there's a bit of a tang. Just try this one so I can actually taste it, you know, more direct, I guess. I don't know. I'm not so sure I'm really getting much of an iron brewed taste there, really, to be honest with you. So move myself along a bit. It's a bit, yeah, it's a bit, I don't know, it doesn't really have much of a flavour, really. It's very odd, despite this jam being quite prominent. Yeah, yeah, I'm brewing Canada, you say, Scotty. Worth having a try of it, Rick. Worth having a try of it, yeah. I mean, it's one of those where it might not be like anything you've had before, I'm not sure, so it's hard to say whether you'd like it or not, but, I quite like it. But this doesn't seem to taste of it at all. I'm just worried I can't remember what iron brew tastes like, but surely it has a taste. This doesn't really have any taste at all, this filling. Yeah. Seems to have a bit of a fizz in it for some, somehow. It seems to sort of, it doesn't really fizz, but it seems to have, it gives you that sort of feeling of a fizz, but that's about it. I'm really not getting any sort of iron brew taste. Which is quite disappointing. Yeah, a bit disappointed there. There's something there, but it just doesn't really taste of anything, so I'm quite disappointed with that. I must say, the one selling point of it is really the novelty of having an iron brew jammy dodger, basically. Let's give it a bit of a dunk then. We'll give it the fair dunk test. So, can't see this particularly improving the iron brew side of it, but it might be quite nice with a shortbread. Shortbread is definitely good for dunking. Yeah, not bad. I think it doesn't really alter it that much. It just gives you a bit of a different texture experience there. Yeah. Oh, have you had these before, Scotty? Have you? Yeah, there isn't really a strong flavour at all. Yeah, disappointing that. I mean, the selling point is that it's iron brew biscuits, and that's the whole thing. You know what I mean? It's really, this is iron brewed. So the one thing you expect, if nothing else, is for it to at least have a strong flavour to make it worthwhile, and it doesn't at all. And even when you take the top off, sometimes as well with these biscuits, you think, well, when you take the top off the biscuit, because obviously it's it's two halves or whatever, you'd be able to taste the sort of sense of more directly. And even when I did that, I still couldn't taste it, hardly at all. There was something there, as I say, but it was really no strong flavour at all. So it might mean it's obviously more natural or something, that it's not got any. But But iron brew, as far as I know, isn't really a sort of natural thing anyway. So, yeah. So it's a bit disappointing, this one. Nice shortbread though. The shortbread's nice. There's nothing wrong with that part of it. But I don't know. I think it's more about the iron brew here. So I think I'd have to say, well, I think it's a bit disappointing. I don't mean it's not horrible or anything, but you'd have to say a 2 out of 5 for this one. Yeah. Disappointing. I can't really say it's a 3 out of 5 being average, because it's the whole selling point is the iron brew side, and it just doesn't exist. Other than the taste, what I mean, doesn't exist. I mean, you can see something, but it just doesn't really taste of iron brew. If you gave this to someone and asked them to say what flavour it was, I don't think they'd say iron brew. I don't think they'd even say orange. I think they'd just say, I don't think they'd know what it was. So a bit disappointing that. Yeah, very disappointing. So 2 out of 5 for that one. Yeah, I was expecting good things from that. I was quite excited for that one. Yeah, but no, shortbread's not too bad. But you can just buy regular shortbread and have that experience, without any faff. So yeah, disappointing that one. 2 out of 5. Disappointing. Yeah. You said they had the jelly babies one, did you? No, see, I didn't even know they existed. Yeah, see, iron brew jelly babies. But yeah, I guess they didn't taste the same either. I guess it's a difficult one, isn't it? Yeah, dunk them in real iron brew. That's a good one, Rick. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Certainly taste of it then. You got a good point there. When I was younger, actually, I used to. I probably would still do it nowadays, really, but I think it's probably something that most people would not be too happy about. I used to dip biscuits in anything, so Coke, I'd dunk a biscuit in. Soup, I think I did it in once. I think a cup of soup. I don't think an actual bowl of soup, but I used to do it in anything really. And it wasn't too bad either. You know what I mean? But it's obviously not made to do that. But I used to do that quite a lot when I was young, but never milk, because I didn't really drink milk when I was younger. Never really liked it. But I think at work a few years back, they had we had like a coffee machine there, and they introduced a sort of milk machine as well, so you could just put it's like a dispenser basically, and And just I discovered I actually quite like drinking milk just normally. I didn't normally, I didn't think I would, but I did, and so since then I'm more open to things like that. No, it's not quite as very exotic just drinking milk, but there you go. You know what I mean? Never really tried it before. It was only a few years ago that. But yeah, I think you're right there, Rick. I think the secret is dunk it in real iron brew, and you sorted them. In fact, it'd probably be perfect then, really. Probably be perfect, but yeah, bit of a shame, that one. Bit of a shame. I think it really looked like a good product. That, I mean, it's one of those where, I wouldn't say it's like a sort of, what's the word? It's not an expensive product. You know what I mean? But I don't think Iron Brew is just come across as being a very expensive flavour. It's not like you think, oh, this has got to be, you know, you know what I mean? It's a relatively, what's the word? I can't think of the correct term for it. But let's say you're not expecting to sort of a less of a quality flavour just because the product itself is a regular price, if you know what I mean. It's not like you're sort of paying for an exotic quadruple chocolate, Brazilian sort of IGR, by the way. Yes, really Brazilian sort of like coffee flavoured chocolate or whatever. You know what I mean? It costs £20 or something like that. So you're not expecting anything sort of. It's just Iron Brew flavour really. So there's no reason for it to sort of, to not expect a good flavour there. So a bit disappointing. But okay, right. So let's move on to the next one. This is one I was wanted to do for Christmas really, so it might look a bit wintry, but but I still want to review it. So it's Thornton's Wafer Roll Selection, orange and mint. Yeah, so it might be another one of those that's made by sort of a different company, not Thornton's directly. So I'm a bit worried about since reviewing other products, like that. I've been a bit worried about these ones. So yeah, so a selection of delicious crisp wafer rolls with orange and mint fillings, coated in milk chocolate. Yes, so they look very nice though. I'm very excited about these. But as I say, I think there's one sort of made by Light Body Ventures. So you can see there. So they're not actually sort of made by Thornton's. They're just sort of licensed out or whatever, or franchise, whatever you'd say. I don't really know what you describe it as, but yeah. So yeah, so we'll see. But I'm still excited about these ones. Yeah, so wafer rolls with mint flavoured filling, 43.3%. Says that at the top. Excuse me. And then covered in milk chocolate, 30.8%. And they go on per 100 grams, 510 calories, so it is over the 500 threshold really. 26 grams of fat, 13 of which are saturates. And per portion, 3 rolls, 99 calories, 5.1 grams of fat, 2.5 of which are saturates. So yeah. Any palm oil? Yes, it does have palm oil in there. Palm fat, at least. I can't get to it. There we go. There we go. Palm fat. There we are. So it's got 2 different types actually. As I say, yeah. So that's presumably. Does it tell you if that's the mint one? Difficult to tell. Yeah, it says cocoa solids minimum 25%. Contains vegetable fats in addition to cocoa butter. Yeah, it's giving you 2 sets of calories basically. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so the mint one's at the top. Sorry, it goes without saying, doesn't it? It says mint at the top. An orange flavour filling at the bottom. So got the same proportions. Calories are slightly less in the orange one, 506 calories as opposed to 510. The fat's 1 gram less, 25 as opposed to 26. The saturates is the same. That's per 100 grams. And the calories in per 3 rolls is actually the same. Apparently, must be slightly different, but I guess rounded up or down or whatever. But 5.1 grams of fat in the mint ones, 99 in the orange. 4.9 of which, 2.4 of which are saturates, whereas 2.5 is in the mint ones. Hi Andrew, you missed a couple of things. Glad you can make it though. We've done Iron Brew shortbread, made by Patterson's, and Milka Choco biscuits. We've already done those, so in the second half now. We've got Thornton's Wafer Roll Selection. But I hope you're doing okay. Yeah, basically Rick was saying we should dunk the shortbreads in real Iron Brew to get the full flavour, I think, and I think he was right, to be honest with you. Okay, so looks an interesting product, this one. I say it has been in the backlog, but I did want to review it because it looks interesting. I mean, I'm a bit more dubious now that I've had other products licensed out by Thornton's, or the Thornton's brand. But we'll see what this one's like, so we can open it first as well, which is always a good start. Let's see. Yes, I can. So, okay, so it comes out. Okay, I should have moved down a bit, so I'll move the camera down a bit so you can see what's going on. Let's see. So here we go. Should have done that before. Apologies for that. There we go. So we got another sort of silver brick going on, a bit like we had with the Milka biscuits. Move these the way a bit. Okay. Yeah. So we got. You can see. Now you can see this. I definitely need to turn the brightness down this time. Yeah, cracky. Look at that. Yeah. Okay. I'll just turn the brightness down a bit so you can actually see a bit reflective there. Okay, let's go. There we go. A bit better. Okay, there you go. Still shining a bit, of course. You see my reflection there. But yeah. Yeah, is that what it said? Made in Poland. Well, it speaks. Yeah, it's a bit strange. That did it say? What did it say? I can't see it, Andrew. Where does it say that? I can see we're made in Poland. These ones are made by Lightbody Ventures. These ones. Yeah, I couldn't see that. It says it's made by, you see, Lightbody Ventures or whatever. Oh, yeah, made in Poland. You're right. Yeah, it did say it. Yeah, well spotted. Yeah. Odd one, that one. Yeah, it is a bit strange. Well, it's made by this other company, which actually in Scotland, but I don't know why they're. Yeah, that's a very odd one. It's because they're not made by Thornton's officially. That's why. No, they're not. No, it's like those Thornton squares that were reviewed as well. They weren't. They're sort of licensed out to Lightbody, or Lightbody licensed the name in, and basically when it's not a non-typical Thornton's thing, like biscuits or whatever, it's done by someone else under the Thornton's brands. It's a bit, yeah, it's a bit cheeky, and they do it with Reese's. Is it Rounds? I think they're called. Is it Reese's Rounds? Reviewed those. They're not made by Reese's either. It's just when I reviewed those, it tasted nothing like Reese's products at all. You know, Reese's peanut butter just didn't taste like it. And they're made by the same people, basically. This Lightbody, or at least they're the ones who, you know, I don't know what they do with it. Possibly license it out to somewhere in Poland or something. But yeah, yeah. So a bit of a funny one, like you say. A bit misleading, I think, to be honest with you. I don't think it's fair that you could just slap the name on something and not really be made by them. Let's say in the Reese's case, it wasn't Reese's peanut butter, so it's not like they give them the recipe for their, you know, well, peanut butter in that case. But who knows? Maybe it extends to the chocolate as well. So it might not be really anything at all to do with Thornton's. So there we go. We've got the mint one here, and the orange one there. It's a bit, I don't know. I'm not sure what to make of this. I feel like maybe it should be a bit, I don't know really. I guess if it was packaged individually, you'd hope it was like a nice orange packaging, but it's a bit of a shame it's just sort of foil with orange written on it. Yeah, I'm never sure whether it's right to say made under license or not. It makes sense to say that. But yeah, I always hear that all the time, so when I see Cadbury's products that are made by Cadbury, it still says made under license or whatever on the back. I could be wrong there, so yeah. That's the best way to say it that I can think of. It sounds like it's right anyway. I'm just trying to open these now. It's a bit hard to open them. There we go. So we've got the orange ones here. Let's just take them out. So a bit like look a bit like Cadbury's fingers actually. Now you can see here. I mean, look at this. You know, you've got these gaps. You know, it's just. You know, it's just annoying, isn't it? This is what Cadbury used to do a lot. They don't do it quite as much anymore. I think they have lips on the side now. But you can see, you know, there's no reason for this to be this big at all. I mean, it's so ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah. So it's a bit rubbish that. So you can see like, you know, let's have a look. So it's about 20.3 centimeters in width. But you know, clearly. You know, let's just have a look. So I'll sort of measure the gaps if I can, as accurate as I can be. Just where the chocolate is. So it's about 4.5 centimeters there. 9 centimeters, obviously with two of them. And 4.5, and then I'm just measuring the actual slot here, so not the actual, you know. So 9 centimeters plus about 6.5. So 15.5 centimeters we got there. But the whole thing is 20.3 centimeters rather. Yeah, so you know, you're clearly losing like 5-6 centimeters there, whatever it was. So it's ridiculous, that, isn't it? You know, and each one of these is only about a centimeter wide, so you can clearly fit in a lot more. Yeah, about a centimeter wide. Yeah, height 1.2. So yeah, disappointing. That disappointing. Oh, they really, yeah, Cadbury's cake bars. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me that, Scotty. It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, I think yeah. I think they're all made by the same people. I think that explains why all these cake bars are very similar, using the same sort of, you know, type of cake and stuff like that, and creams and things. You know, because they're all the same, aren't they? Really, they all have the same shape between companies. Maybe not the Cadbury's ones, but other ones have got that. I'm just trying to open the mint ones. There's definitely a mint smell coming from these. Trying to open it. It's got the same gist here, so we'll count them as well. So see if there's any difference. I'll just move these to the floor out of the way. Let's give them a count then, see what we've got. We'll do the mint ones first. So, yeah, there's basically, got to take them out really. We'll take them out. You can see there, this one got something coming out from the side. Well, so that's not too bad. It doesn't look quite like a Cadbury's finger there. So just measure, put them into groups of 5. That's probably the easiest, best way to do it. So 18. So into 18 there. Is that 18? No, 17. There we go. Yeah, 17 of those in that one. 17 of the mint ones. So we'll put them back in. We'll just check the orange ones. Check the same. Bit of a sort of grease feel to them. You know, it's probably there's chocolate, I guess, but it feels a bit greasy. Just check. So we have 17 of those. Let's check these ones. Let's see. These ones smell a bit like clubs. These ones, a bit like orange clubs. That biscuit. So 5, 10, 50, yeah. So 17 in both. So at least they've got the same amount in each one. But yeah. So if we measure sort of 17, well, yeah, I can't do that really. But yeah, I was going to say measure them across, but making us to measure against the packet. But okay, so I'll taste the orange one first, because I think if we taste the mint one, that'd be a bit of a bad idea. That so. Yeah, change it. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's a shame they changed the white one. They seem to change the wrong ones, don't they, basically? I think I saw you in the Discord chat saying you weren't very happy with it, Andrew. Yeah, so, yeah. They always seem to change the wrong ones, don't they? It's like they sort of got rid of your favourites in the dairy box ones as well. You know, typical, really. Okay, so here we go. So you see one of the mint ones did have the sort of bit at the side. I think they've been snapped in half on the packet, or snapped anyway. So you can see they've got the sort of things coming through. I'm expecting this one to have a sort of orange feeling like that one there rather than the mint one, but mind you, they're maybe just not snapped ones. Okay, so let's give it a cut or a snap. I'll give it a cut. Okay, so there we go. So that's the orange one in the middle. We'll get a mint one. Yeah, mint ones do have a mint smell to them. The orange ones, as I say, smell a bit like orange clubs. Okay, so both, it's got a bit of a green tint to that one. I don't know if you can quite. Even then with the camera as it is, I don't think you can quite make that out, but it does have a bit of a green tint to it. It'd be hard for me to show that, because as I say, I've lowered the yeah, can't really display it on the camera very well. Like, at this distance you can see it's quite orange. That's the orange one. Maybe if at this distance you can see that it's a bit more green. So just the orange one next to it there, so you can see that's a bit more orangey. It's hard for me to it just won't focus in, I don't think, well enough. It might do. That's a bit better. Yeah, you can clearly see now, can't you, that it's the two on the left a lot greener than the one on the right. And it does look quite green in hand. Okay, so just let my hands a bit, get a bit of a chocolate coming off there. Okay, so I'm going to move the camera back up, so I'll give these a taste. Bit apprehensive, to say the least, about these, based on my other sort of Thornton's light body ventures shenanigans that went on, you know, so we'll see what this was like. I'll just adjust the brightness again, back again. Won't be a second. If I can. There we go. Okay, yes. Let me do it. There we go. Yeah. There we are. Back to my best, apparently. Okay, so let's right, so let's just check. This is an orange one. Yeah, so try an orange one first, try a fresh one. Why not? Okay, let's give it a go. Wafer's nice. Very nice crunch to it. I'm not sure about the orange centre though. I say they're quite hard to show these on the camera. I don't know if that's zoomed in. Yeah, I think it's focused in. Yeah, bit hard to sort of say. If it's nice or not. It's a funny flavour that. It's how many calories per finger? About 33 calories pretty much on On the mint ones at least. Call them a roll. Yeah, 33 in each of them. It's an odd flavour that, you know. Let's try again. The wafer's really nice. And chocolate's not bad actually. You can't really taste too much of the chocolate, but it doesn't taste too bad. But the middle's a bit of a funny orange flavour. It's not really like anything else really. It's probably maybe a bit like the sort of the cream in a club biscuit, but more prominent because the cream in a club, you don't really have too much of it. It's quite sort of it's there, but it's not too prominent. Whereas this one, it's quite prominent, and not too sure about it. Not too sure about it. Let's try the mint one. That's a mistake because it's going to be quite powerful flavour, I think. We'll give it a go. They're definitely coming across like the creams from a club biscuit. I don't know if Lightbody are involved with the club biscuits in any way, shape or form, but they're basically, it's like the creams from a mint club and an orange club. And obviously other biscuits that are quite similar. So in that respect, it's not too bad. You know, they're not. You know, it's not. But I don't know whether there's just too much of it in this case. So the orange one's got a bit of an orange flavour. The mint one's quite minty, but not overly so. It's quite subtle, like club biscuits. If you imagine any kind of sort of lunchbox biscuits, you know, like say in the UK have Club's Penguins, they're the two with mint flavours and orange flavours. I don't know if there's any others specifically. Maybe Kit Kats maybe, but those are, I think Clubs and Penguins are probably the closest you'll get, especially Clubs. So it's a bit like having that inside the wafer percent, and it's not too bad. I don't think it tastes quite as exquisite as you possibly would hope. As I say, you'd be expecting a bit more from a Thornton's product. Not unpleasant, but I think for me, I would definitely prefer to have a club, either the mint or the orange ones over these. I think it's just nicer all around. Really, it's like the same but better. I definitely don't think you'd be expecting more from a Thornton's branded product. These they look quite exquisite, but they taste quite normal. And you know, not to take away from a club, but a club is generally sort of like I wouldn't say it's a very exotic product, if you know what I mean. It's very much a typical one, a cheap one, and that's typically given to kids for the lunchbox. It tastes really nice. I do love clubs; they're really nice. And but you know, it's been not known for them being their sort of exquisite, sort of indulgent sort of product. You know what I mean? And whereas you'd probably be expecting something a bit more like that with these, even though perhaps it doesn't look that much. But I think the branding, Thornton's, maybe they're just not quite what they were really. I mean, I know this is like this is sort of outsourced whatever to Lightbody Ventures or whatever it is, but I think Thornton's generally, I don't know, they're not quite as prestigious as they used to be. They're available in just general supermarkets now, relatively cheap price, relatively. Although some of the sets are still more expensive. So I think it's like devalued the brand a bit, and I think things like this are devaluing it even more really. It's a very normal product. I certainly wouldn't pay a lot for it. I don't think I did, to be honest with you, actually. I think it's one of those is kind of found in home bargains and places like that. What to say? They're not as good as clubs, basically. So I'll just go for clubs all the time over these. I think clubs are probably a 4 out of 5 generally as a product. I think the only reason it won't be a 5 is because they're just not going to blow your socks off. But they are really a solid, nice product, and these are not as good as those. So what can we say? I think digestive biscuit, I tried to say, is like your sort of 3 out of 5 for a biscuit product. This one's more of a chocolatey one. So could you say it's below average? I'm going to say both are the same for these, because I think they are, even though one's an orange and one's a mint flavour, they kind of, they do what they do in the same way, basically. And if you imagine like the club, sort of like a biscuit, chocolate biscuit type, lunchbox type affair going on. That's really pretty much what you've got here, really, as far as the flavours are concerned. So I think for both of them, I think it's probably a high 3, a low 3.5 out of 5. I think I'm 3. Yeah, I'd maybe go. I don't know. It's very hard to say with these ones, actually. I mean, as chocolate goes, would you say? I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'll say a 3.5 out of 5 for both of these. I think they're okay. They're okay. Maybe I should give them a bit of a dunk. I think might be a bit not quite as warm as it was. Let's just give them a bit of a dunk. See what's Probably use this as a straw actually. Yeah. Coffee's a bit not quite as warm as it was. Say the least. So might be okay dunk, but I don't think. I don't feel I'll add too much to them really, just because of the nature of the biscuit. It's not really, they're not really a biscuit as such, if you know what I mean. But could be okay. But yeah, I think 3.5 out of 5 is about right. 3.5 out of 5 is about right. Yeah, they're quite a solid. They're not a bad biscuit. They're just slightly above average, and I think, as I say, they're just not quite as good as you'd hope they'd be. I think you'd be a bit disappointed with them, and I think that's the main problem. You just be disappointed with them. They don't taste really like the branding implies they would do. They're very sort of, as I say, you don't associate sort of a orange club and a mint club with Thornton's, do you? You know what I mean? But having said that, when we reviewed the sort of Thornton's chocolates and things, we did sort of say, well, I said, they're sort of very sort of truffly and, lots of occasions sort of that's not too exciting, so if this had an orange flavoured truffle in, would I be saying the same thing there, and that's probably what you'd get otherwise, isn't it? So, but I think then that's what you'd be expecting, and you wouldn't be as, disappointed, I guess, in a product that's perhaps not as quality that you'd expect. So yeah, I think 3.5 out of 5. So I think you get the gist of what I'm trying to say as well. So 3.5 out of 5. There we go. Right. Okay. And the next one. What have we got next? Well, this is one actually. It was I wouldn't say it was parachuted in, but it was something that I just saw yesterday and thought that's a really product I wouldn't normally get round to reviewing, but would really want to, because it's only sort of around for so long, and the sell by date's quite short. A short window of time before it's out of date. And this is what we got. We got the deliciously springy, soaring chocolate and orange mini sandwiches, whatever they're called, thin loaves. There we go, mini loaves. There we are. So I've always wanted to review these. Well, not the specific one, but the soaring mini loaves, because I used to have them quite a lot actually. I used to have them as a little breakfast bar when I went to work. And I really, do lots of different ones. I had like Halloween special limited edition ones. Basically, sort of like. I think the general flavours are sort of, I think it's apple, strawberry, and maybe something else. Banana, I think. I'm not sure. Maybe just chocolate, actually. But this one's a chocolate and orange one. Yeah. It looks very nice, very spring-like, I think you'd say. As it's got the older... as is always the case, I think I've said with these spring products, they have like a sort of grass on the bottom. They always do. You've had these, have you, Alan? Yeah, they're very nice. Have you had these specific ones, or just soaring ones in general? I think I've spoke to you before about these, haven't I? I think in the comments. Yeah, they're very. They are really nice. These ones. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yes. What isn't, Alan? What isn't? Yeah. But they are quite small, I think, as Alan said, but they are vegan friendly as well. So I think that's a. I think to have vegan approved. There we go. The Vegetarian Society vegan approved. So is there a vegan society? That's the question. But the Vegetarian Society has vegan approved them. I'm not sure if that's I don't know. Well, I'm assuming that's a good thing. But yeah, maybe the Vegan Society needs to do it as well if there is one. So there you go. Yes, source of fibre, less than 100 calories, and vegan as well. There we are. Yeah, so they're very interesting, these ones. Yes, yeah. You tried the whole range. These are very good, as Alan's saying. These are very good products actually, and I'm kind of ashamed I've not reviewed them before, really. But they're just one of those where you get such a small window of time with the sell-by dates. It's very difficult for me to do it. Yeah. So it's one of those, and sometimes I've been quite lucky actually. It's the 26th of March, about the 3rd today or the 6th today, so I've actually got plenty of time. But sometimes I've got them and they've been out of date by the weekend, because it just depends on what the supermarket rotation's like. Yeah, the Roundtree's products for vegan as well. I think I'd seen a couple of them. I didn't realise I'd done them all, Andrew. Yeah, see. I've got those dessert flavours to do. Dessert flavours. Where are they? They're just down there in my... yes, in my pile down there. Would show you, but... yeah. I've got a pile down there of stuff to review, and they are there. Let's see, can I actually show you? I might be able to show you with the... yeah, have a little thing of my... I've got, you have to excuse all the rubbish, but I don't know if you can see all that sort of down there. That big pile of stuff. Can I see the dessert pastels just roughly there? That green pile there. There we go. So that's my that's my to review pile. You see, yeah. So it's quite it's quite extensive. Yeah. So I've got the Roundtree's dessert ones to review. I've got I think the Bassett's Puds ones. Is it Bassett's or something? I'm not sure what the company is. And another sort of one of those fruit smoothies. I think it's a Roundtree Smoothies one as well to review. So I got a few there. Yeah, you would have seen like a... Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, so it's just one. Yeah, quite excited about these ones. Let's give them an open. We'll just move the camera down a bit, I think. Yeah, so do lots of flavours. They're really nice, these. I'll say a good product, and I would have liked to have got around to reviewing them more often. Just never have, really. Let's move some things out of the way. I'm going to grab the attention. Let's see. Let's put them somewhere not to knock them over. So you can see, yeah, sorry about all the wires and things, Not sure what well, I probably could tie them away, but I've got to have a mouse handy. Things like this, so yes. Okay, let's just put the brightness down a bit. See, it looks a bit too bright, doesn't it, at the moment? So I need to just de-brighten it. Can do it. There we go. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, there we go. That's a bit better. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's all quite interesting, these ones, I think you'd say. There's the description. 5 individually wrapped orange flavoured mini loaves with dark chocolate chips, 150 grams. So yeah, so it's the mini loaves is orange flavoured and it's got dark chocolate chips. Yeah, saurine, by the way, for those who don't know, it's kind of like a malt loaf, the original one, and they've just branched out into these different types of mini saurines. Deliciously squidgy energy, 5 malt loaves, and I'm not a big fan of these malt loaves. I've tried them recently. I thought maybe I'd like them. Nibble me daintily or eat me on the go. I'm delicious either way. There you go. Yeah, it's quite a nice thing there. Yeah. Nibble me daintily. There we go. How about that? It says yummy there as well. Yeah, the malt loaf, yeah, I'm not too convinced, but I did try it again. It's just not for me, really. Rhubarb and custard one. Yeah, see. Yeah, typical that. Saurine loaf toasted with butter. You really like the saurine loaf, do you? I mean, I don't really try to butter. Maybe that was the problem there, Alan. Maybe I needed to do that. Yeah, maybe I needed to do that. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just the malt loaf. It's a bit of a Marmite flavour, I think. By which I mean you either love it or hate it. And I'm not sure. I'm in the love camp at least. But maybe I'll try it with butter again. I'm not sure. I like the sort of old Jamaica. It's old Jamaica, like the gingerbread loaf. I quite like that one. But that's very different again, that though, isn't it? So yeah, not quite the same. There we go. How to store me. There we go. I like cool, dry places best. Eat me on the day, meet me on the day of opening, or if you want to save me for another time, just pop me in the freezer. Use me with 3 months of freezing and make sure I'm fully defrosted before you take a bite. Squidgy enough for you. I was perfect when I left the Saurine Bakery, but if I've lost my squidge or fallen short in any other way, then please get in touch. It's quite a cute writing, isn't it? It's quite a nice product, I think. I'll say good for kids, these ones, and good for a little snack. They are tasty generally. I've not tried these ones, I don't think specifically. You might have done a chocolate and orange Halloween flavour one, I think. But I'm not sure, can't think. Maybe blood orange or something like that, but probably the same thing really. So per 30 gram loaf, 106 calories, 2.1 grams of fat, 0.9 of which are saturates. So not bad there for calorie wise, And 100 grams, 353 calories. So well under the 500 for a typical chocolatey snack. 100 grams. There's 7.1 grams of fat, 3.1 of which are saturates. Now, does it have palm oil in? It does, or palm fat at least. So yeah. So it seems quite good for like vegan things, but then you might be bothered about the palm oil in there. But it looks quite nice, doesn't it? Nice packaging, lots of nice flowers. We're on a mission to be greener. But there you go. It's got palm fat in it, so you know what I mean. You have to be very. I don't know. Let's say it's be sustainable and stuff like that, but don't know. I think it's double-edged sword, still using something, but then saying it's sustainable. Because what they often do is they'll plant or offset it somehow, and then whether the offset is really a good thing to do. Sometimes they plant trees to replace ones they've used or whatever, but they won't use native trees and stuff like that. So you know what I mean. And I don't know. I'd be very wary of things that try and offset or claim to be sustainable, because I think sustainable is a very broad term really. But there we go. I'm no expert. Okay, so got a bit of flourishes there going on. So we'll give them an open. Could measure it first. I'll measure it first actually. I might forget though what the measurement was. That's the only problem. It's roughly 24.5 centimetres roughly. I've not been stretching it out and things like that or squishing it, but 24.5 centimetres. Let's see. Okay. one snuck away. So 24.5 centimetres. Let's measure this like these. So 24.5. It is now roughly 20 centimetres. So we lost 4.5 centimetres there with just the packaging. You'll probably see there all this stuff on the side. On the other side, if it's better. So an extra, basically an extra one we could have fit in. Really, is the gist of it. Yeah, because we each about 3.5 centimetres in the in the packaging. Looks very nice though, but you can clearly see, at least in the cardboard tray, at least is the right size. I'm not sure if that really matters as far as, because actually the whole packaging was too wide. But and here's the actual packet itself, and I think they look very nice, don't you? I think if you're a kid, even an adult really, I think you'd be very happy to have that as a bit of as a nice little treat. The flourishing wise as well, I mean, there is some at the top. It's quite squished though. I think it's the height wise of the product. It's not too bad actually. It's squidging out a bit because of the thingy, but it's not too. I don't know if you can see that. Half me to show you. It's not too bad as far as height is concerned. Obviously, if you pulled them out, there is a bit of flourishes there, but you were kind of buying them with this in mind, so and it's not that bad actually. Although when we take it out of the wrapper, we'll see again. We'll check it again. Yes, it's got the usual stuff on it. Like a free post address, vegan approved, and a vegetarian society. Who aren't vegans? Well, they might be vegans, but you know, it's a vegetarian society. Let's give it an open then. Okay, yeah. So Alan was warning me about the flourishes, and I think he might be onto something, because if we look at it now, yeah, we can see here. It's hard for me to. I'll just try and show you somehow. Move it out of the way. But yeah, flourish wise, I think it isn't that impressive. Yeah, so I can sort of show you maybe. Yeah, you can see the gap there. You have to believe me that it is reaching the top there. It's hard for me to show you. But then I can, if I put it back into here, into the tray, this is the easiest way to show you. So you can see. There you can see sort of there. So there is a bit of a, you know, it's not, I mean, it's not, I've seen worse, to be fair, as you know, but there is still a bit of a gap there at the top. But I have seen worse. It's compared to the others, you know, it doesn't seem too bad. But I think if you hadn't have known about all the others that goes on, where they almost a third of it rather than a fifth like this is or whatever, you know, yeah, I think we'd be disappointed with that. Let's give it a bit of a measure. It's quite squidgy. Yeah, it's lovely branding, isn't it? Yeah, Alan, I think I'm quite happy with this. I think it is very nice. Yeah, I think they've done a good job there. So, the odd. I've got to press 2 tag because it's quite squidgy. About 7 centimetres long. And the width, about 3.4, 3.36. Yeah, and the height, it's not quite, you know, about 2.5. Yeah, it's flatter on the sides, of course, but yeah. Okay, very nice. I think that's pretty good. Tasty, this. Let's have a see. Where's my knife gone? Did have one. There it is. Give it a chop in half. They're quite squidgy. You can see that how it's just squidged. Not to imply. There you go. So that's squidged a bit. It looks a bit like a sort of unbaked bread in a way, you know. You can see there, it does look, you know, has a bit of that squidgy, but it's just squidge basically. You know, not much to look at, possibly you might say. Doesn't really smell of anything great here. It doesn't smell. Might be a slight orange smell, maybe, but I think you'd never, if you weren't expecting to look for orange, I don't think you'd get orange smell from that. Not bad though, all the same. It's not too bad. It smells a bit sort of loafy, I guess. Alright, I'll lift myself up to give it a taste. I'll change the colour first before I do it, because otherwise I'll look a bit crazy when you first do it. People wonder what's going on. So let's just change the colour a second. There we go. There we go. The brightness rather, not the colour. Okay, I'll do. And there we go. Lift myself up. Yeah, you can see normally it would be quite, well, you know, there's different levels I can do it to. So there you go. So adjust itself there. Okay, there we go. Yes, let's give these a taste then. Interested with these ones. Alan's seal of approval. Let's see what I think. Hopefully I like them. I think I will do. That's a nice big chocolate chip there, you can see. So the loaf itself is the orange flavour. Let's give it a go. It's quite squishy. Nice chew to it. Not bad at all, actually. I think don't feel I'm getting much of an orange flavour from it though, to be honest with you. I feel a bit yeah. There's a bit of chocolate taste though. I'm not really getting much orange at all. Let's say orange, didn't say chocolate and orange, yeah. I don't know if this is just a one-off because I have had these before where they have been quite prominent with the flavourings, and this one doesn't seem to be prominent at all. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I'll try another one. I'm really not getting any orange flavour there particularly. What do you think, Alan, when you had it? Did you get quite a prominent orange flavour from it? Just try another one, see if it's a one-off. Give it a go. Definitely a lot more chocolate in this one. That other one was a bit chocolate free, but this one, you can see loads of chocolate in there. Still not sure I'm getting much orange though. Definitely a lot of chocolate in this one though. Yeah, subtle orange for sure. Yeah, I think yeah, maybe very subtle. I think at least in these ones. I say I've had these before, and usually quite prominent with the flavors. I think it's the fact that maybe the ones I've had before, the flavoring has been not in the loaf but in the bits in it, whereas this one's just chocolate. Whereas the other ones it's been like I can't recall really. Does it have bits of apple and orange? I don't know. I feel like it did have bits of fruit in, but at least. I think it did. Yeah, I'm sure it did. Been a while since I had them because I used to have them at work. I've been working from home recently, so I don't used to take them into work for me. Don't really do that now. Yeah, sorry, I'm a bit disappointed with these ones. I think not really getting the flavour from these ones. They are very moist, though. It has to be said. They are nice to eat, and they're quite substantial for the size, but I think these ones are I think I prefer the regular ones over these ones, the more normal flavours, the strawberry and apple. I think I really like the apple ones. I can't remember. There's one flavour I really liked over all the others. I can't remember which one it was now. Was it apple? But it might have been banana. I think the banana one actually was my favourite one. I think they generally just taste a lot. Yeah, this one has just not really had the orange flavour for me. I don't know whether it's just a bad batch or what, but I've tried two of them. We'll try a third one just to be sure, but I'll be surprised. Go through them here really, but just to sort of try and give it, because I've had these before and the flavours have been very good, but this one, yeah, yeah. I'm not really getting the flavour at all. I'm not really getting the orange flavour. Yeah, which is a shame. I think it really affects it as well because it means the loaf is quite flavourless for me. At least this is what I'm finding out, so I do apologise for this. But yeah, I'm not. It's a shame because I know these products are usually very good. I was very excited for this one. The banana one I've had is extremely nice. And there's an apple and strawberry one as well, and they are nice as well. But I think the banana one is definitely the one to go for me. And I could quite happily eat that, all day, every day. I think. But these ones, yeah, I don't know. You got the chocolate sort of in it, and it's not. The chocolate's more. It's not overly flavoured. It's just a nice texture and taste, I guess. But but the flavour itself should be coming from the loaf part, and it just doesn't have it really. I say it could be a bad batch. I don't know, but I've got to assume it's not because I can't. Otherwise, every time I have anything bad, I'd have to review it about 3 times to be sure. Yeah, just not getting an orange taste. I'll just give another bite just to try to see if I can extract the orange taste, but I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah. Did they really, Alan? Yeah, well, I think perhaps they've tried to sort of go a bit more, a bit more, I say it's vegan now, it's less than 100 calories, this is actually a source of fibre. Maybe they've tried to reduce all that, to manage to get the chocolate in. I don't know, yeah. I don't know, what can I say? I'm a bit disappointed with these ones, I think. Yeah, sorry, Alan, I don't know what you'd give them out of 5, but I don't think I can really give them that higher mark. I think I've got to, especially since I know what they can be like, and I know what the banana ones are like and things, and I don't know. I just don't know where the flavour's gone with these. It's just they seem quite. It doesn't really have a very decent flavour at all. You know, the chocolate's there, but the chocolate's not good enough on its own, I don't think, to carry this loaf for me. It's got a nice chew to it, nice, you know, texture to it, but it's just lacking in taste, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I feel a bit bad for this, Alan, but I don't think I can give it really anything more than a 2, I don't think. 2 out of 5. Yeah, very disappointed. This one below average, and I know it's below average really, because I just know the other ones are so much nicer, you know, just the regular ones were just so much nicer, so much more flavour, and so I think would be even squidgier as well. I think these are not quite as squidgy as the other ones, but it could just be me just thinking of that now because I'm not as happy with these ones as normal. But yeah, I definitely would go for the. I think for me, it's definitely the banana ones. I think, and the other flavors. I think, you know, and they are very nice, and they don't taste like the healthy things. You know, just because it's banana flavor, they taste very nice. Whereas this one's got the chocolate in. I don't think it tastes as good as those. It's just really struggling with the flavour. I don't really get it. I don't get it. You know, I don't know why that's happened really. Because it's chocolate and orange, and I don't know why. I don't know how they've managed to not really get much of an orange flavour. And like Alan was saying, the Halloween flavour one, and I'm sure I did have those, was pretty orangey. You know, let's say it was a while back now though, so I don't think I had them last Halloween. I had them Halloween before, so it was a while ago. So you know, could be misremembering, but I don't remember. Yeah, not sure. Can't say, but I can't say for sure where I was disappointed. I can't quite recall now. Yeah, can't really recall, but yeah, no, thanks, Alan. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, glad you didn't mind. Glad you're not offended. Yeah, well, we know it's well. I mean, it could just be a bad bat. I don't know. I feel like I don't think it. Yeah, I don't know. It's a shame that. It's a shame. What can I say? Yeah, just didn't think it was orangey enough for me. I felt it was quite bland other than that. And I don't think the chocolate chips are strong enough to carry it on its own. And just when I know how nice the other ones are, and it might just be. I don't know. The others seem to be. I'm sure the others are softer and squidgier as well. Still quite squidgy, but maybe it's just because it draws out more flavour in the other ones, and it just comes across as tasting a bit more squidgy because you're just getting more flavour in it, and it just seems to work a lot better. I don't know. Yeah. Well, I would definitely try the. You know, I would definitely go for the banana ones, and then the apple and strawberry ones, or apple and raspberry, whichever it is. And the separate ones, by the way, there's apple and there's raspberry. But yeah, I think for me the banana ones are just out of this world. They're so nice. Unless they've changed the recipe, of course, since I had them, but you know, I wouldn't have thought so. Yeah, shame. Yeah, 2 out of 5. Disappointed with those. Yeah, sorry, Alan, but yeah, never mind. What can you do? But yeah, just didn't have an orange taste for me. Yeah, disappointed with that. I was really excited for these ones, but yeah, it's a shame. But there we go, 2 out of 5. But yeah, what can you do? I'd try the banana ones, as I say. I would definitely go. If you see those, go for them. I think you'll be very happy with those. Yeah, don't know. I just don't know how they managed to not get an orange flavour in there at all. It wasn't. I just couldn't really taste it at all, Alan. I just couldn't really taste an orange flavour at all. Maybe something very subtle, but it doesn't really. It's possibly something very subtle, but I just don't think you know, unless you're looking for it, I don't think you'd notice it. Yeah. Difficult one, that one. Difficult one, but yeah, disappointed. But there we go. What can I say? Yeah, 2 out of 5. But there we go. Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? Where you have to bear that in mind with what I say as well. It is my opinion and things. You know, it might be something you really love. You have to always bear that in mind, of course. But I try to at least give you the reasons why I give something a rating, so that at least you can bear that in mind. And if you do have it, you've got a bit of a baseline there to sort of know how to judge what I think, and you know whether you value that opinion as much. But you know, yeah, I don't know. I think, but just like for these ones, as I say, it just didn't quite have the orange taste for me, really. And I don't think I couldn't see myself buying these ones again. Basically, I think I'd always go for the other ones. You know, I don't think these, you know, really provided me with anything really that would make me think I need to have these ones. Like the chocolate chips weren't good enough, really. If the banana ones had a chocolate chip in, I think it'd be nice enough without the chocolate chips. But I think if they did, then I think okay, that's a nice addition. Doesn't detract from anything. But on their own, without the other flavour, I could taste anyway. It wasn't really enough to carry it, you know. So it just didn't really work. I couldn't really give it an average result because of that, you know. But there we go. Yes, time for key guess. Yes, yeah. This is it. Well, you know, there we go. You see, so well, this is it. I've got a few. You know, it is Easter coming up at some point soon, so you know maybe we'll do some Easter ones. But yes, there we go. Maybe I should do a cream egg. I might have a cream egg to hand. You know, should I do a extra special review I wasn't planning to do, but I could throw in a cream egg. What do you think? How about that? Maybe I can also do it for the Easter special as well. So, yeah. Okay, go on. I'll do one last one. There's the cream egg. I'll just grab it. Let's see. Where has it gone? There we go. Because it's nearly Easter. Let's give it a go. But whether it'll be as great as we think, who knows, Rick? Because the cream eggs have been a bit. I don't know. People have not been as happy with them lately. Basically, is the gist of it, because the size has gone down from what people remember when they were younger. Well, they're still quite big, I think you'd say. So this is it. Yeah, I think the size is not quite the same as it used to be. And I think the chocolate's not quite as good a quality. I think it used to be dairy milk chocolate, but it's not like that anymore, I don't think. So it's a bit, but one of those. But there you go. Those you don't know what a cream egg is. Basically Cadbury's sort of staple Easter product. It's like a chocolate egg filled with, we say fondant cream, sort of white fondant cream with sort of orange fondant cream mixed in as well. Oh, yes. Yeah, see you, Alan. Hope you have a good weekend. See you next time. Have a good one. Enjoy your fish supper. Yes, do this last one then. Let's see. To finish off the cream eggs, here we go. I'll take it out the wrapper. So nothing with Cadbury's eggs. They always have this sort of star design on them these days. It's the same for all their eggs. I wish they'd have something a bit more special, but they don't. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. So you can see it's two halves there. Quite heavy, quite substantial. Does have a weight on it. It probably does, but I can't see. It's because it's all this foil wrapper. You can't really see a weight very well. Yeah, there we are. I think it says 40 grams. Yeah, can't quite make it out there. It's at the bottom. Yes, okay. Yeah. All right, yes. So I'll tell you what, we'll give it a... Just go down a bit so you can see. There we go. There we are. Right, so we'll give it a bit of a chop. I think, we'll change the colour for now. We'll see what happens. It looks okay for the moment. We'll give it a chop down the middle. Probably should do it down the centre, but I should do it down the centre. So we'll give it a measure first, actually. So we can. This is one that's definitely worth measuring, because if they are shrinking them. Okay, let's see. It's about 4.9 centimetres tall. And the width in the middle, about 3.5. That's along the with the areas. Let's just do it at the top to bottom. 3.5 again. There we go. Oh, it's okay, Rick. It's all right. Don't worry. Well, it's what the live review's about, isn't it? You see. So sometimes, you never know. Might be able to surprise you with things like this. Okay, I'm just. I think I'll cut it. Normally, I would just bite into these rather than cut them. I'm not sure. Yeah, this is it. You see, this is it. Let's see. Yeah, it's one of those. No, you don't have. Yeah, it's very different. I'll have to change the brightness a bit, because it's a bit bright here. You can't quite see. Yeah, very different these, Jow. Yes, very different. Do you have any kind of thing like this? Because there's a few of them now. There used to just be this one. But now there's a few different cream egg types as well. We have different sort of, different ones, caramel filled ones, all sorts really. So let's see, is that all right? Oop, going a bit too dark there. Okay, that's probably about right. Yeah. Okay, let's give it a bit of a chop. Okay, are they really? I see. Yeah, it's foil here. Yeah, it's always been foil really. And there's a few others as well come in foil as well. So they always seem to come in foil. Yeah, you can get boxes of them, but they still will come in foil. So I'll give this a chop. Don't know what's the best way to do it. I have to go down the middle. I think I'll just go down the centre. Okay, so we can see if we can. Let's give it a go. We're going to be a bit messy. Maybe a bit messy. I have to slice it maybe. There we go. Now there we are. So not very creamy, this one. Normally they're quite creamy, but you can see here it's kind of got a big hole in it as well, which is odd. Normally it should be quite creamy, so I don't know whether some of them have gone a bit. No, it's because it had a hole in the top. I haven't had it that long either, so yeah, this should be quite creamy rather than a solid fondant. And I've noticed this with some of the goo heads that I had as well. Some of them were a bit more solid than others. Now you can see, yeah, a bit disappointing. So yeah, I've noticed this on occasion, but you can see where it's been pumped in as well. So it must have always been like this really, if it's got that solid hole there. Because if it was a liquid, it would have filled in the hole. So I don't know what to make of that. Yeah, normally, Joe, you probably, you know, yeah, Kinder eggs. Okay, we get a lot of like chocolate-filled eggs where it's got like a sort of cream filling or caramel filling or other filling like this. It'll be a chocolate shell with a filling, but these normally it's quite liquidy. But for some reason this one isn't. It's still quite liquidy, you know. You can see it's like replicating an egg. It looks a bit like, probably for you, Joe, this probably looks quite authentic because it's quite like hard-boiled egg almost. Let's see if I can actually get it to get the colour right. Not really doing it. That's a bit better. It actually looks like a proper egg almost, doesn't it? Obviously got chocolate speckles in, but you can see, but normally it'd be a lot more liquidy than this. You know, still quite liquidy though. It's not, so you can see it's still quite liquidy. Not too bad, but normally it would be a lot more liquidy than this. Yeah, the Oreo one, yeah, I'm the same, Rick. Not a big fan of those Oreo creams. That's the kind of cream sense that I'm not a big fan of. It's more like a fondant. It's not marzipan, no, Joe. It's more like it's quite liquidy normally. It's very liquidy. Yeah, it's not marzipan at all. Yeah, it's more like I don't know what you'd say. Yeah, if you ever like a sort of in some of these cream chocolates, you have like a mint cream or something like that. It's more like that, but obviously not mint flavored. Yeah, so it's not marzipan at all. Yeah, it's very different. Yeah. Yeah, in the UK we have lots of these bars that sort of have like a fondant cream in the middle, and it's kind of like after eights, if you've ever seen those, like a mint cream. Usually mint flavored things. There's after eights. There's fries, sort of mint creams as well. There's a few of them basically. So yeah, but it's not marzipan. So it's very different. Very hard to describe it really. Yeah, very sugary, very sugary. It's a sugar-based thing basically. So it's like almost like liquid sugar almost, I think you'd say. But thickened with something else, so whatever it's thickened with, I'm not sure. But normally it'd be very liquidy, a lot more liquidy than this, but you can see when it's been injected in here, it's obviously for some reason dried out a bit for this one, but normally it would be quite liquidy. It's still quite liquid, as I say. I think this half is a bit more liquid than the other half. You can see what it's like there, but normally it would be, normally when you cut through this, the liquid would come with it, you know. You could never get a clean cut like this normally. But yeah. Okay, let's give it a taste. Let's see, let's go back up. Let's put the brightness down again, just because I'm looking a bit orange now, a bit tanned. So look, let's just get rid of that. Let's see. Let's go back to, there we go. How's that? Okay, there we are. Right, okay, so let's give it a taste. Then I'll taste the top half. I've had it where it's been like this before, where it has been a bit dry. And it doesn't really affect the taste too much, but it's a bit of a funny one. But yeah, okay, let's give this a taste. Very soft. Yeah, it's like it's not sweet like sugar though. It's not a sort of sweet, but it is sweet if you know what I mean. It's very hard to describe really. Not too bad. The chocolate's not as good as you'd hope. But it's a very nice, unique flavour, really. There's no real different flavour with the orange bit in the middle. Also, I can't really give you the calories here either because it's very hard to sort of read that. That's what I got for the calories, so I can't really go over it there. Might have it sort of slightly, but they're not. They're probably one of those where it doesn't give you the full description anyway. Not too bad. I mean, the gist of it is it's not too bad actually, but the problem with it is I think the chocolate's not quite as good. So you can't really quite make out the yeah, because the camera's a bit. You'd have to probably turn the camera down, but we can see there what the gist of it. So it's like a sort of sugary egg centre basically, if that makes sense. But it's not, obviously it doesn't made of it, it's just colouring. It's not too bad, and as I say, if you sort of squidge it a bit, you'll see that it kind of. Yeah, you can see there. Up against there. So it's that sort of very creamy, liquidy centre. Because on my side it's very sort of orange as well, like a yolk. So yes, that's what it is, Joe. So it's very, very weird. You know, very sort of, it's going everywhere now. You wouldn't normally eat it like that. I'm just showing you what it is. So yeah, so there we go. That's normally what it's like. So very liquidy like that. It just seemed a bit solid before. It does replicate the look of an egg quite well, really. I'll say in hand it's a bit sort of more egg looking than that. I might just turn the brightness down again so you can see a bit more realistically what it looks like. Because I think let's see, there we go, let's have a try. Yeah, so it's probably that's a bit more like it. There you go. So it looks a bit sort of too bright before. But there you go. That's probably a bit more what it looks like. It's a bit more egg-like. There you go. Yeah, it's not too bad. It looks a bit disgusting, perhaps. It does. See, it is quite sweet. I mean, it's not as sweet as you'd think. It's not so sweet, but it is pretty sweet. Yeah, it's very much a sugar concoction there going on. Yeah. So, yes, it's certainly made of sugar. There's a lot of sugar in these. Not too bad though. I think for me though, the problem with it is I don't think there's much flavour. It's perhaps a bit too sweet, maybe a bit too. The chocolate's not quite as good as it should be. I wish it was like a dairy milk chocolate, and it isn't really, which is a shame. Yeah. Otherwise, it's not too bad though. I think it's not quite the thing it once was really. I think it's a bit, it's interesting. It's a nice product, very unique, very distinct for Easter. Very interesting. Yeah, it could be really. It could be. You could be right there, Rick. You could be right. I'll say it was quite liquidy elsewhere, though. It's just when it was squidged a bit. I think it's just the top half, I think. Obviously, I don't know why that happened, but yeah, but the bottom half was quite normal, actually. This is kind of how it should be, really. Yeah, no, not too bad, though, really. I think it tasted quite nice, actually, but it's just quite sweet, quite sugary. The chocolate, I think I just wish the chocolate was more dairy milk like. I think it's a bit disappointing, the chocolate, but I do quite like it. I like the novelty of it. I think it's quite nice. I think perhaps if it wasn't quite so distinct, I might go for sort of, I don't know, a bit of a lesser rating really, but I think because it's so distinct, a bit of a staple. I don't know, it does have that sort of appeal, and it's quite a nice novel product to have really. I just think the problem with it is it's not quite as tasty as it used to be, I think, but it looks great though, doesn't it? It does look great. That's the thing. I think it's just got that appeal, that sort of Easter magic to it, I think, and I think it's very much that kind of product really. Yeah, so yes, you're right, there you go. You see, yes, that's it. It's just that's how, as I say, how it should be, nice and liquidy, very eggy, yeah, but as I say, it is also like a sugar sweet. I think normally I'd probably, I don't know, I think if it's not for the whole appeal of it and things and the look of it, it's probably a 3 out of 5. I'm going to bump it up. I think, yeah. It's going to sound harsher than it is. I think it's a 3 out of 5, I think, normally. I think it's a 4 with the fact that it's sort of like the look of it and the feel of it and things like that. I think it's just got such a novel appeal to it. It does really carry that. It carries it quite a lot, really, having that sort of look to it. But I think I've got to give it an official rating, and I think it's going to sound worse than it is because, as I say, it isn't. It's just the fact it's quite sweet. As I say, the chocolate's not quite as great as it should be. We're just doing the very final bit. Yes, you missed the old cream egg Scotty. Sorry about that, but yes, basically just about to give it a rating really. So yeah, that's what's left of it. Just trying to explain to Jow what it was as well, because he's not seen one before. Quite hard to explain really, basically. But just of it is, I think the look and feel of it, the novelty of it, carries it quite a lot. And I think that would bump it up by half a mark. But I'm going to be strict. I'm going to say it isn't quite as lovely as it used to be, and it's still quite a novel product. I think for taste alone, though, it's probably, I don't know what to give it. It's a high 3.5, a low 4, basically. I think with the novelty, you'd bump it up to a 4. Yeah, I think. What to do? I think I'm going to give it. I'm going to be truthful. I'm going to say a 3.5 out of 5. But I think it's very close to a 4. It's very close to a 4. It really is. I think the novelty brings it up to a 4. But I'm going to be strict and keep it down to 3.5 out of 5 because I just think there's the chocolates. It is quite sickly, It is really nice. I think the novelty is a 4 really, and I think that's it. So I think, Jow, for instance, if you had one, it'd be a lovely experience for you to have it. But whether you'd have another one, that's the thing. I don't know. It might be a bit too much. You know what I mean? Because it's not. It's quite extreme, I guess you'd say. It's quite an interesting product. It's nice to have one. It's a lovely sign of Easter. It's a staple product. but would you have another one? You know what I mean? You might just think, well, I'd rather have something else. I'd rather have this, you know. And it's a very difficult product like that, and that's the thing, and that's why I'm just keeping it down to 3.5 out of 5. I think the novelty factor of it though does bump it up to a 4. It's for the first one you have. It's a really nice experience. It's so different. It's lovely to see. It's not like anything else, you know. It's a really nice product like that. But it's just one of those where I think, you know, once you've had a few of them and you know novelty's worn off, I think it does have a bit of a slightly above average taste, but still, you know, but yeah, you might not come back to it as much as you'd think you would do. And I think that's the gist of it. So maybe for Rick as well, you know, yeah, 4.5 for you, Rick. Is that the gist of it? But this is it, you see. I don't know how often you have that. I don't know what it's like in Canada. Maybe it's a bit harder to come by than things like this. Maybe the novelty's still not quite worn off. But I think, you know, I think in the UK as well, there's a thing where they've felt like they've got smaller, you know, over the years. And also, it's not dairy milk around the edge as well, which people expect. And I think it used to be as well. So long ago now, you know, your mind just can't remember them as much. So it's a bit disappointing for that point of view as well, you see. So we have that going on. But, you know, 3.5, I mean, don't forget, when I do rate things, a mark out of 3 is just average, you know. It doesn't mean, because an average chocolate bar is still a lovely experience. You have to remember that, you know. So I've just got to sort of make sure that I reserve the higher spots for things that truly are, you know, a wonderful experience, you know what I mean? And I think this one, as I say, it's more the novelty of it. And I think, as I say, that would give it a 4, but I'm removing that half mark for the novelty. And the 4 is very good, by the way, you know. So that's why I'm moving it back, because I think the novelty for me is subjective, you know what I mean? As I say, I think for Jow, for instance, when he first would have one, I think he'd be very happy, and it'd be a really nice experience, I think. But I'm removing that novelty from the score. So I think for Jow, for instance, it's a 4 out of 5, which is a great score, really. But I think generally it's a 3.5 out of 5. But it's still not a bad score, though, as I say. Still not a bad score. Yeah, it's a hard one, really, when you review things, because people often, you know, expect, you know, if you don't give something a 10 or a 5 or whatever, people think it's a bad product, and it's not the case, you know, really, you know. So I try to sort of make sure I explain why I sort of say things. So generally for me, like a 1 out of 5 is not very nice, awful. 2 out of 5 is below average. 3 out of 5 is average, which, as again for chocolate, just means it's still lovely, gorgeous, because chocolate is always lovely and gorgeous. 4 out of 5 is very good, and the base of 5 out of 5 is like brilliant, you know, not necessarily perfect, but just a wonderful, brilliant product, you know, really nice. So, you know, so 3 out of 5 is above average, and when the average is really nice, it's not bad, you know what I mean? So there we go. Well, there we are, everyone. Yeah, I think that's we did an extra product there. Did an extra one. So that's 5 reviews. It's not too bad. I'll probably review this one again. I might do a special Easter product Easter review where I do a few Easter products. We'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, bit of you know, we'll see what I do there. But maybe we'll do that. Who knows? But yeah, interesting to review it. I hope you all enjoyed it. It's good to see you all again, by the way. Thanks for coming as always. Great to actually interact with you and speak to you. I know sometimes these are quite long, these live reviews, but that's what it's about, you know. So yeah, you can always watch them and catch up as well. Right, well, okay, Rick, yes, Scotty, and Joe as well if you're still there. I know Alan's left, but yeah, hope you all have a lovely day. And thanks, AB, as well, if you're still there. Thanks for coming. It's great to talk to you again. Glad to see you all, and hope you have a lovely weekend. And hopefully I'll see you next week in the next live review. If not, in the comments and the Discord chat as well. Don't forget to check that out. The link will probably be in the description. If it's not in this one, it will be in a description somewhere of one of the videos. So hopefully I'll see you there for some chats as well. Okay, take care, everyone. Have a lovely day. There's a 6-second delay, so I do apologise if I've gone by the time you say bye. But yeah, have a great weekend. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. See ya. Bye.